Hey guys, welcome to the Late Late Show. I'm your host Matt from Lakers UK. I've got Jonathan Kiernan alongside me, as always. We'll jump straight into it. How are you doing, mate? You good?
All good, all good. I'd rather you focus all your energy on our guest today, but thank you very much for acknowledging me. I'm good.
Yeah, and we've got a very special guest with us. He's been on the Late Late Show again. He's been on it twice now. Really glad that he's been able to come back and spend some time with us. He's just completed his rookie season with the Lakers as a two-way player. It's Devontae Cacok. How are you doing? Thanks so much for chatting again.
I'm doing good, and like I said, I appreciate y'all having me. I'm right here back in Atlanta, just enjoying my friends and family, working out again. But I'm doing good, can't complain.
Yeah, and obviously when we spoke last time, we were kind of in lockdown. This virus was in full flow. Things calmed down. Obviously, you went into the bubble, and it seems like it's just started again. We're back in lockdown over here again. How is everything where you are at the moment? How are you and the family doing?
Me and my family's doing good. I'm back, like I said, back in Atlanta, and I will say they kind of got everything back open, which is still kind of crazy. But malls is open, clubs is open, everything. But I'm just trying to obviously stay safe, not really go out too much, just stay with my people, my friends, and my family, and not really go too many places. But I just get my workouts in and do whatever I got to do for my workouts and my body and stuff like that. And but I'm enjoying it. You know, it feels good to finally be back home. I've been here in a while. It's been a couple months, but it feels good to be back.
Yeah, definitely. And to the listeners, before we do jump in, we have done a previous podcast with Devontae. So if we don't cover any topics that you want to hear, it's more than likely that it was covered in the previous podcast. So you can go back and listen to that. Don't get too mad. So we'll jump straight in. Since we last spoke, you were named to the All-NBA G League first team and the G League All-Rookie team. Congratulations. That's a big achievement for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't really know what too much to say about it. Obviously, I'm happy for it, but it's just one step next to the goal.
Yeah, definitely. And were they some awards that you kind of strive for going into your rookie season in the G League, or was it just a nice added bonus when they popped up?
Honestly, I wasn't thinking about any awards at all. Like every time I got on the court, I just thought about trying to give it everything I got, and the awards and accolades just kind of came with it. But obviously, I'm grateful and blessed to get everything that I got just to this point, and I look to build off of that.
Yeah, definitely. It was an incredible rookie season anyway. But yeah, we'll jump into this championship win anyway. I'll let Jonathan lead off with this one.
Yeah, huge congratulations just on winning your first championship. Like, could you take us through that moment and what you're feeling at the time? And was it just a really surreal experience for you?
Yeah, for sure. Like being a part of that and being there, experiencing obviously the whole bubble from everything that we went through this whole year, to finally hear the buzzer sound at that last game, all the excitement, everything that happened to get to that point, it just kind of came out. And a lot of people had emotions. I was hype as heck over there, just jumping around, having fun. Like, yo, we won this thing. But it just to get to that point and to see everything that it takes from the preparation to getting yourself ready, mental, physically, everything that it took to win a championship, and for me to be there and see what it takes to get there. I've learned so much and I've soaked a lot in that I've just, I plan on bringing everything that I've learned with me in the future. And I want to be able to, I know what it takes to get there. And it's not easy. This is one of the hardest things for anybody to ever complete. And for me to see it and be a part of it and, somewhat helping to some extent in practices and stuff like that, it's just a crazy experience. And I'm blessed that I was able to be a part of it for sure.
You mentioned about the celebrations. Like, we got a little bit of kind of the antics in the locker room afterwards. What were they like? We only caught like a little glimpse and then some of it on the JaVale's kind of YouTube channel. But what were the celebrations like afterwards?
I don't know what y'all saw, but there was a lot of champagne everywhere, bottles, cigars, everything. Literally, it just bottles on bottles just ready to go for us. They had everything, underneath the plastic so your stuff don't get messed up. They had the goggles ready to go, like bottle, like it was everything. Like they had everything ready to go. But it was cool. Like it was obviously legendary. That's the word I've been using lately, just legendary. Like being a part of that and just throwing the bottles and popping the bottles left and right, it's a once in a lifetime experience. But
we did that over here too.
You said what?
We did that over here too.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people was after that. But, nah, it was cool. It was definitely a great experience.
And what time did you get to sleep at? Like, I can't imagine you got much sleep until you go back to LA.
No, I didn't get any sleep that night, or the night after that. I didn't get any sleep. I didn't sleep the first 2 days out. I didn't sleep at all because
Nice.
yeah, it was a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, and you managed to get on the court and get some minutes against the Kings in the final regular season game, where you had 6 points and 5 rebounds in 9 minutes. Obviously, you featured a lot in preseason, but what was it like finally making your Lakers debut?
It was a blessing. That was the first thing I could think of. I kind of knew I might have an opportunity to play that game, but I've taken every game as opportunity to hopefully play, and I treated every game like I was. But to finally go out there and finally get my first NBA bucket, and for it to finally be official, and me finally being scored lane, like it felt great. And I was, inside I had a lot of excitement. Obviously, we lost that game, but me personally, I felt good to finally get that accomplishment done. And I'm happy that I was able to do it in my rookie year instead of having to go on to next year and still waiting to get that solid bucket. But it was a great experience. My family was happy for me. My friends was happy for me, and it just finally became official for me.
Yeah, definitely. And in terms of the bubble, what was it like being in that NBA bubble completely shut off from the world for a few months? Like, what was the most difficult part of that?
Well, being in the bubble had its ups and downs. Obviously, we were in the safest place in the world, literally. Nobody came out positive. Everybody had, the mask, the hand sanitizer everywhere. Like, it was the safest place to be. And that was the blessing of it. Obviously, the down part, didn't have your family when you needed them or wanted them. Kind of restricted on what you you were restricted on what you can do. You kind of had to adjust to what they had for you. You got your same food restaurants and the same place where, you don't really have too many options. Obviously, it was an adjustment for all of us, but for us to be able to learn and just make the adjustments that we needed to make in order to complete this whole thing, it worked out. I knew the only way for this bubble to be somewhat positive for us and us going was for us to win the whole thing. That would be the only thing to make it worth it. We all knew what was expected from us. Everybody was locked in. Everybody did their job and did it to their best ability. And that's why we were able to come out on top.
Yeah.
A lot has been said of like the team chemistry and like how important it was to have such a close-knit group in the bubble. In a way, it was just as important as having the talent on the court. Like, you seemed like an incredibly tight-knit group of players together.
There we go. Yeah, keep going, mate. Oh, you just glitched.
For me?
Yeah.
Sorry. It says like, yeah, a lot of has been said about the team chemistry, like, and how important it was to have such a close-knit group of players playing on the same team. In a way, is it kind of as important as the talent on the floor as having this kind of the team chemistry amongst each other?
I definitely believe, like, obviously being in that boat brought a lot of guys closer. We brought our wives in, kids came in. You get to make relationships with each other's kids and stuff like that, which most of the time doesn't really happen, I would assume, in a regular NBA season. Wives were able to connect, we were able to connect. And, we were just always, like, we see each other every single day, playing Call of Duty. They had their Madden thing going on. So it definitely, I think, brought everybody closer, and that helped on performing out there on the court. And, I definitely think that it helped us in a lot of different ways, and definitely brought a lot of us closer.
Who won the Madden tournament?
Quinn won it.
And how did you do?
I didn't even play it. I just watched. I watched like I don't even play, man. I knew I wouldn't last too long in that. But I know my place and my role. But nah, Quinn won that whole thing. But it was cool for them. They had a nice little Madden tournament. They had it all week 1, week 2, everything locked in. They had the brackets ready to go. They was ready. They had that all set up.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So actually, speaking of Quinn Cook, and how important were the likes of like Jared Dudley and Quinn Cook for like team chemistry? They seem to be quite like pivotal from anything we've heard. They've been like really kind of instrumental guys in helping form the team chemistry amongst the team.
Yeah, I think Duz obviously and Quinn, they both are key to the chemistry. Duz, he brings a lot of his veteran and experience from all these years that he's been in the league to his team. And people would say, yeah, he doesn't play that much, but he brings something that a lot of people can't bring to a team. And it's partly chemistry. It's partly, bringing people closer, understanding the game, explaining the game to, like, if he sees something about me, he'll tell me, explain it to me, that something that I might not even understand or see it from my point of view. But Duz, he definitely explains and talks every single day. And he stays ready just in case. You never know. He's always prepared in case he is able to go out there and play. And he's going to do his best ability. He's going to defend. He's going to do whatever he has to do to help us win. And Quinn as well. Like he's locked in. He has chemistry as well. He's one of those guys that everybody vibes with. And those two guys, they definitely bring the team closer.
Yeah, and staying on the topic of vets, was there a player that you stuck with as a mentor that helped you? Did you have an assigned vet?
Quinn, I definitely talked to him a lot just about everything. I remember back in preseason as well. AT, he helped me out as well. Those two guys really, they've been in my shoes to some extent. You know what I mean? Being on this two-way, trying to earn your own spot. They've been down this road before. And so I look to them for sure on what's the way to go. Even like when I got waived, the first person I called was Quinn just to ask him what he thinks about, next step type stuff. And but yeah, those two guys, they've been where I've been before, and they've been able to help me out in so many ways for sure.
Yeah, and obviously, as you guys were in the bubble, so was everyone else, so were all the other teams as well. And what was it like being in such close proximity to rival teams such as the Bucks and Clippers, and of course the Heat, who were the Lakers' finals opponents? Was that a bit strange? Did you see them teams around a lot?
Yeah, so like the bubble, obviously where we were staying, it's not that big. So you're seeing every team basically every time you went out your room. And obviously at first it was kind of surreal. I'm used to seeing Bron AD every single day, but to see Jimmy Butler, Pascal, Kyle Lowry, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, like just casually out there on a regular day, every single day, it was shocking for me at first too, but obviously it takes some getting used to. But what most people call it was just like a big AAU camp that just lasted 3 months long. And, we adjusted, everybody adjusted, we got used to seeing everybody, seeing each other every single day. And even when it got down to just two teams, it got pretty quiet and lonely at the last two, because we in that big bubble with just two teams. So, it's either you see us, your family, or the other team. But we got used to it. We adjusted. We did what we had to do, and we got it done.
Was there like a player that you kind of, I'm not sure if you get starstruck, but was there like a player that kind of, when you saw them, they kind of took you back a little bit, or it's maybe someone you look up to? Or?
Not really. Honestly, seeing Bron and AD every single day, those were those guys at first. Because like people would talk to me like, "Yo, I saw Bron and AD." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I saw them yesterday, today, tomorrow, every day." So
they're my mates.
Yeah. So like everybody else, when I saw them, I was like, "Okay, I see him." But obviously, when I met Bron and AD for the first time, that was me.
Yeah, and
another Jimmy's coffee.
You said what?
Did you pick up any of Jimmy's coffee?
Oh no, I couldn't. I don't even like coffee.
And a big question: have you seen Kawhi Leonard smile?
No,
I don't think I did. I heard one time. One time he talked. One time when we had the little meeting thing, he said something, and I was like, "Wow, first time ever."
Well, he talks. Wow.
At least in person, yeah. So, but yeah, that was about it though.
Yeah. I think it seems like he constantly lives in a bubble himself, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know him. I haven't been around him, but yeah, that's what it looks like, honestly.
Yeah, and we haven't actually. We're going completely off topic here. So obviously, on the last pod, we spoke about the Montrezl Harrell comparisons. Have you been able to link up with him? Have you spoken to him yet, or did you see him in the bubble?
I saw him a couple times in the bubble. I'd met him actually in El Segundo way before the whole bubble even came about. He was at the Apple store, and I was at the Apple store, and I had my mom's with me, and I told my mom, "That's Montrez," because like one of my coaches back in Wilmington, he used to coach Montrez, and he always compared me, tell me about my game and his game, and so that was my first time ever meeting him. And so I was able to talk to him, tell him, I know who he knows, and we talked for a little bit at the store. And but I did see him a couple times in the bubble. We didn't really have too much time to like talk, but yeah, I was able to see him, and yeah, it was cool though.
Yeah, and what was the feel around the team when the Clippers lost and Denver advanced to the Western Conference Finals? Were the team kind of expecting that Clippers matchup in the playoffs, or was it a case of kind of shutting off from them other teams and focusing on yourselves?
Well, I can't speak for the whole team, but I know me personally, obviously, I think we expected to see the Clippers, especially them being up 3-1. We were, just kind of waiting for it to be 4-1. And, I stay ready for the Clippers. This is what really the whole world wanted to see, Clippers versus Lakers. Who's going to win the battle of LA? But we kind of just, once we saw one game kind of go down and we saw the next game, and then we saw it's 3-3, and then, just kind of throw the ball up. Whoever wins. We just, take it as is. So Denver obviously won that series. And by the time they came out, we just prepared as how we would if it was the Clippers. We didn't treat it any differently. We didn't let up because we understand for Denver to come back and beat the Clippers 3-1, they're just as dangerous as the Clippers. So, we did our preparation just like how we did on the series before that. And we just kind of just prepared ourselves as how we would for any other series.
Yeah, absolutely. And like being a two-way player that spent like the majority of the season down in South Bay, do you feel like you've developed in a close environment in the NBA bubble, being around the likes of LeBron and AD and all the vets day in, day out?
Yeah, I definitely feel like because obviously, like you said, I was in the G League for the majority of the time, and that first like half/3/4 of the season, I was down there, so they didn't really understand. Well, not understand, but didn't see me play against like high caliber players and stuff like that. But once the talks about me coming to the bubble was coming up, and like we had practices and we had runs, and I was finally able to play against them more than just 1 or 2 times a month. I think I was able to show my game, show them what I do, and show what I bring to the table as well. And I think that a lot of people had a lot of positive things to say about me, my teammates as well, and I just kind of went off of that. I think now obviously they know what I bring to the table, and I just want to show that each and every time I'm out there.
And being around the team on a daily basis, did they have you doing any kind of you or Taylor doing any kind of rookie duties during the bubble?
Yeah, we had our rookie duties for sure. Rondo always had something for us because he had something for me every once in a while. Not too crazy, but yeah, we definitely had our rookie duties ready to go.
Anything in particular?
Well, KCP always wanted me to order him some food. Rondo always wanted me to carry some bags. It wasn't too bad though, because I would ask them, I'm like, what they have you doing like your rookie year? He said it was terrible. He said like they used to have standing on a whole flight back and forth just to stand there for no reason. I'm like, oh, that's dead. I cannot do that. But it wasn't too crazy. They took care of us, and it is what it was. But it's part of the game being a rookie.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Was it Matisse Thybulle for the 76ers? Like gets the food for the team flight, and the first time he messed it up and only got a couple of meals when it had to cater for everyone, and now he just like buys like 50 meals from like Chick-fil-A or something for the 76ers.
Yeah, might as well bring them all. I had to bring some of the foods up, even in the bubble, grab it from the meal room and bring it up to some of the guys. So it's all part of it.
Yeah, definitely, and obviously you've outlived that now, so
Yeah,
you can be on the other end of that.
Right, I'm not no rookie no more, but who knows? Being with the Lakers, they might still treat me like a rookie just because I'm the youngest one still. We got all these vets right now.
Yeah, and with Taylor Horton Tucker, which obviously we mentioned alongside you as a rookie, he featured a few times in the bubble, even against the Rockets in the playoffs. He's a player that you know about a lot about from the South Bay Lakers. What was it like watching on and seeing his impact on the court?
I was happy, honestly. I knew like me, him, and Kostas and some of the other guys as well. You know, we were literally grinding when we weren't playing. So I knew what Taylor was about. I knew that he was going to be ready. I knew that when the opportunity came, he was going to, you know, do what he does, and that's exactly what he did. And to see one of us, you know, being able to go out there, have an opportunity, and succeed, I was happy for him. You know, I told him, like, go out there, kill, do what you do, because like I like to see my people win. I like to see people that work and get their things done and do it the right way, prevail and succeed. So I was happy for him, and any other time he gets out there, I'm gonna be the same way. I'm gonna be happy for him. I'm gonna encourage him and let him know, like, go out there and do what you do, and I expect him to do it anyway.
Yeah, and obviously one of his highlights was the AD game winner when he got flattened when AD was celebrating.
Yeah, that was OD. That was funny. The thing is, when it happened, I didn't even know that it happened until after, because I flew by AD, and I guess Taylor was right next to me, and he took Taylor out, and I'm looking around. I didn't even know what happened until after I saw the video. But no, that was wild too.
Yeah, the thing is with Taylor as well is he's not a small guy as well. So when AD kind of jumps at you, it would be like a freight train, and he really did floor him. It's
Your body.
I saw it on Twitter a lot.
Yeah, he cleared him easy.
Did he get some stick from the team because of that? Did anyone bring it up and everyone were joking about it? Or
oh yeah, that night we was all talking about it. Like we saw videos, we was pulling up videos. Like, hey yo, this is a different angle. Like we was all talking about it. It was pretty funny though. But Taylor, you know, he just laughed and just enjoyed it. It was funny.
Yeah, definitely. I imagine in a moment like that, a bit like the championship win, I imagine your emotions just completely blow out, and you know it's probably a bit of a blur looking back. I imagine moments like that. It was one hell of a game winner, definitely a Kobe shot.
Yeah, thanks. That was dope. That was tough. Obviously, like I said, being able to be a part of that, see that in person, it's a blessing.
Yeah, and one thing I do want to mention, then obviously we did mention that shot being a Kobe shot. How close was like Kobe in everyone's mind in the bubble? Obviously, we've seen that you do the like 3-2-1 Mamba and things like that. What was he kind of someone that was? I'm not sure about necessarily spoken about, but was he kind of close to everyone's hearts in the bubble?
Yeah. We all, you know, we coming in, we were locked in on trying to, you know, win a championship, and our mentality was obviously we want to do it for Kobe, and that was the mindset that each and every one of us had. Like you said, we count down 3-2-1 Mamba. We mean it. We feel a part of it. It's a Lakers franchise. Kobe, when you think of the Lakers, you think of Kobe. You think of Kobe, you think of the Lakers. That's something that, you know, will always be forever. And, you know, we kind of played with a chip on our shoulders, just understanding like we wanted to be able to be successful for him after his passing. And just obviously he was close to each and every one of us hearts, and he's always with us. And for us to, you know, be able to complete the ultimate goal and bring another championship back to LA, I think that, you know, he's down. He's up there looking down on us and smiling. And but we definitely prided on that, and we want to play hard and get what we could done. And I feel like that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, definitely, and it just meant that little bit more to you guys and us watching on as well. But let's get back to yourself and the season that you've just had in the G League. You had a remarkable season for the South Bay Lakers, where you averaged 19.4 points, 11.9 rebounds in just 23.9 minutes per game, and only in 2 starts. It's incredible production, and obviously we spoke about your season and skill set on the last podcast that we did. But I'd like to get into it from a coaching standpoint this time. How influential was the coaching staff and Coach Kobe Carl to your development in South Bay?
Kobe Carl, he's a different kind of coach. I've never had a coach like him before, but he's one of those coaches that, you know, he cares about his players. He cares about your headspace, where you're at, like what you're thinking about, like what you see on the floor. And he's just one of those coaches that, you know, you can joke around with and talk to about anything, honestly. And for me to be able to build a connection with him early, he was actually at my pre-draft workout with the Lakers. I didn't even realize he was the South Bay coach till later on. And we built a relationship at my pre-draft and didn't even know who he was. But yeah, me and him, we were able to, you know, understand each other, talk about, you know, different things. He invites his team, he invites his players and his coaching staff to his house, for Thanksgiving last year. And, he's big on chemistry and just doing things together. We go to the beach every once in a while and play spike ball, just different things, that's not just always about basketball. And to be a part of, his coaching ways and how he coaches, and which is so different from so many other coaches that I've had, it was a great experience to be a part of that as well. And just learn from him. And he gave me the opportunity to go out there and just do what I do. And he set me up pretty well.
Yeah.
Just continuing with kind of South Bay, like the amount of names that have come through the South Bay kind of development program that have gone on to kind of big things. Like we have Ivica Zubats, Thomas Bryant, David Nawaba, Jordan Clarkson, just to name a few. What are they putting in the water in in South Bay? It's becoming kind of like an amazing farm system to kind of roll from the G League onto the NBA, and some absolute fantastic NBA careers have come out of that. So yeah, what is in the water in South Bay?
I don't know if it's anything in the water, but I will say everybody that does, the whole system of finding guys, they own it. That's what I believe. Even just for me, they were the first person to call my phone on draft night. And I feel like I was obviously good enough to be with them. And for them to, find me, like you said, Thomas Bryant, obviously AC, all these different players that's been through here that's playing in the NBA, that they know how to find talent. And I'm grateful that they were, able to call me and give me a chance. And I feel like I'm doing just that, and I still have so much more to do. But they definitely have what they need to find the talent, the hidden talent. Now, it's not just always about, the big schools or the 5-star, this and that. I came out undrafted, obviously, under the radar, but they still decided to give me a chance. And I'm just glad and happy and blessed that they gave me that. And I'm going to give it everything I got each and every time I'm out there.
Just quickly as well, I'd like to add on to that obviously what's kind of the general consensus of being in the G League? Obviously, it's a very tough league and everyone has sights on the NBA. Do you kind of have to trust the process, or is there kind of a little bit of frustration when you're not exactly where you want to be in that moment, or is it a bit of both? How does that work?
I think the way I've taken it is there's a positive and negative for every situation and everything. And I've taken me being in the G League as it's a process for sure. And, this is, even though I'm here, I'm going to learn something from it for the future. Obviously, just me being in the G League to get the two-way and get a call-up, you see both sides of where you're at, where you want to get to. It makes you even appreciate getting to that point even more. And like I said, the lessons is the biggest thing about it. I think even when I'm back in college, my freshman, sophomore year, we won basically almost every game. My junior, senior year, we struggled. But I learned so much on both sides, from the winning side and the losing side. And just being here now, I just got to be grateful for where I'm at, trust the process, continue to work. I know if I work, good things will come out of it regardless. So I just feel like as long as I do my part and do my job and continue to do it at a high level, that the opportunities and the chances and everything else will come on after, as long as I continue to lock in and do what I got to do on the court.
Yeah, and you played in the G League and you got your Lakers debut in the bubble, obviously playing in the NBA, but obviously you watched on throughout that playoff run, throughout the rest of the regular season in the bubble. What kind of differences do you see between the G League and the NBA? Is it a lot more ferocious than the G League, with players really, some of them are fighting for their careers, some of them are fighting for NBA spots? Are there many differences between the two? I mean, I imagine there's some sort of quality difference potentially, but is there any that you can think of, any differences?
I think looking at other G League teams that I played against, a lot of people think and are more worried about just getting theirs. They're trying to get their points, they're trying to get their rebounds, they're trying to get their assists. They worry about themselves because they think, obviously, if I get my numbers, eventually I'm going to get paid, or I'm going to get my call-up, or I'm going to get my contract, one or the other. Obviously, when you're in the NBA, it's not like that. It's it's a system. It's a systematic game. Everybody has their role, and everybody understands their role. Most of the NBA teams, they got two or three guys that those are those guys, and then they're surrounded with role players. That's when things gotta those are the biggest difference between both. Because you think about G League, people dropping 30, 40 in a game, but like that's all that they're worried about, just getting the numbers, getting the stats, filling the stat sheet like that. When in reality, if you dropping 40 in a game, most likely you're not going to be in the NBA on, like, say, for instance, the Lakers dropping 40 because you got Bron and AD. They need role players. They need people that can defend, people that can shoot, people that can rebound, people that can do whatever they do best to help the team be able to win games. That's what it's all about. And but yeah, I think those are the two biggest things that I've seen and I've noticed from watching other teams play in the G League. And I think that's really it, honestly.
Yeah, I think we've seen that with the likes of Caruso. Obviously, he wasn't an incredible player in the G League, but he isn't a 30-point-a-night scorer, and he kind of does the little things. And then I think a little bit like yourself, I think your skill set really translates over to the NBA well, kind of fitting into that team dynamic rather than just being an out-and-out scorer where you wouldn't have them same looks in the NBA.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And can we kind of move into like the off season and kind of next season? And like, I know we're in off season now, and it looks like it's going to be quite a short one. What are your plans and aims for this period? You've gone back home, haven't you?
Can you say that last part again for me?
Sorry. We have a shortened off season this year. It looks like we're going to be coming around. The season's going to be coming back around December or Martin Luther King Day. What are your aims for the off season for you, particularly in your development?
So I feel like for me, obviously working on my shot, working on my handle is the biggest thing for me. And the good thing about being in the bubble for 3 months, that's really what I've been working on this whole time. Obviously behind the scenes, me, Taylor, Kostas, and some of the other guys, JR, Duz, Quinn, we're all working, Dion as well. We were working behind the scenes each and every day, game days, off days, everything. I think while I was in the bubble, I probably had like a solid 4 off days completely from everything. So I feel like me being able to work out with Mike P, Phil Handy, almost every single day helped my progression to where I'm at right now. And I feel like my game is going to show even more for next season. But I'm just going to continue to work on my shot, continue to work on my handle, staying confident, and being able to expand to my three-point range and show that I can shoot as well and still do what I can do in G League and in the NBA and show that I can translate as well. And just, continue to work, continue to stay confident, continue to stay ready. And whenever the opportunity comes, I'm just trying to do as best as I can.
Absolutely. And kind of speaking about Phil Handy, like he's widely considered one of the best kind of player development coaches in the NBA, if not like in the world. What would you say it's been like working with him on a kind of a day-to-day basis, especially during the time in the bubble?
It's been great. He works with Bron majority of the time, but the times that I've gotten with him, this is the most I've ever been able to get those opportunities to work out with him. And I like his workouts. I like the way he sees the game. I like the way he explains it to me, expanding my game and just seeing it in a different view. And like you said, Mike P, he's very well respected by everybody in the league. And it was a blessing that I was able to work out with him and continue to work out with him. And hopefully when I get back to LA, get some more workouts with him. But even him and Mike P helped me with staying consistent with my shot. He showed me a lot of different things with my handle as well. Like those two coaches helped me a lot in those 3 months. Working out with them literally every single day. If it wasn't Phil, it's Mike P. If it's not Mike P, it's Phil. So that was a great thing and a great positive for me to have in those 3 months in the bubble to help me elevate my game, even though before the off season, but now even continue to pick up from where I left off even there.
Yeah, and have you heard anything about the season restart that you're allowed to say? I mean, obviously Martin Luther King Day has been rumored. December the 22nd has also been rumored as well. Have you kind of heard anything on your end yet, or is it still up in the air?
It's still up in the air. I know there's supposed to be something going on, just kind of talking things out, figuring it out. But there was obviously still talks about December 22nd, January 18th. But nothing's still set in stone. I know it kind of just depends on who you talk to on which date you want to hear. Obviously, people that weren't in the bubble want to start December. Obviously, teams like us in Miami want to probably start in January. Because off season, there really is no off season. It's a quick turnaround for us to start because December 1st would be training camp, which is less than a month from now already. And so I think we just kind of got to still wait, hear the discussions, see what happens and what they decide to do, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. And we're coming near the end of the podcast now. We're going to wrap it up soon. Jonathan, have you got anything you want to add on like the coaching side of things, kind of the bubble or anything like that?
Actually, yeah, one question kind of about the G League. Say we hear a lot about yourself and Costas and Talon, but is there any other kind of guys on the South Bay team that you think is going to be like a problem in the NBA?
I feel like honestly, everybody on our roster brings a lot. You think about Mark Allen, David Stockton, Pierre Jackson, Wayne Selden. Like, we had a very good team. We had a lot of injuries happen, and that kind of messed us up going through. I was out for a month. Stockton had a couple injuries. Jordan Caroline as well. We had a very great team, but there was just so many injuries that came along. But I think each and every one of us, if we got a full opportunity, we would all be successful, honestly. That's what I think about our G League team.
Yeah, and how much of a legend is Andre Ingram? Is that someone that you spent some time with?
Even time before I saw Dre. Obviously, he messed up something in his arm. He was out for a while, but I was able to see him for a little bit. I saw his family, but it was good to see him again. I hadn't seen him for a couple months, honestly, just from everything going on. But he's doing good, and obviously I saw he's on like the board now for the G League, so that I was happy about that. So he's still doing what he does. He's still gonna give it everything that he got. He's still gonna do it with a smile, and he's just gonna keep going.
Yeah, I think I read some of it. I think David Stockton's like the vice president, isn't he? Or he's like in control of something as well.
Stock's on the board too. I seen that, him and Dre. Both.
Yeah.
South Bay running things.
Right.
Yeah, and because when I was at South Bay, managed to see you play against the Memphis Hustle back in February. In hindsight, that was a great time to have gone. Andre's like a celebrity, isn't he? There, like everyone it's like everyone's trying to get a piece of Andre Ingram. Like, I mean, I was guilty of it myself. I managed to pester him at Spirito, and he is what a remarkable career and a remarkable story. And I don't think everyone realizes, but it's still going on in the G League. He's still a productive player.
Yeah, he is. Like, he's a great player, great teammate. Everything you could think of, he does it. And like I said, he does it with a smile. He'll go out there, he'll drop 20 on you easy, honestly. So don't sleep on Dre.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll look to wrap this up now. And you're currently signed to a 2-way contract for next season. Is that correct? Is it?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, and then with that, what are your targets for next season? Where does Devontae Cacok go and take a level up from that incredible rookie season?
Like I said, just continuing to work on my game, my shot, and my handle, and just for next season, whenever that full opportunity comes for myself, which I think will be a lot more. I think will happen more than it did last year. And when that opportunity does come, just, prevailing, being successful, and just trying to show what I bring to the table, show that I've been working, show that I've gotten better as well, and, just show them what I can do and bring to the table for this team.
Yeah, I think we spoke last time and you said that you were due to be called up when the season restarted, and you did, but if the season wasn't suspended, you probably would have spent more time called up to the Lakers, as you still had all them days left on your contract. Are you expecting, well, I mean, I'm not sure whether you're expecting it or not, but do them days kind of get drawn out ahead of the season, or is it kind of something that's kind of decided as the season's underway to try and utilize your 45 days?
Well, it's obviously for next season, it's still up in the air as to what's happening and what's going on. I'm not sure exactly what 2-way is going to be looking like for next season with the whole COVID-19. I don't know if they want back and forth between us and G League and up there with the NBA. So it's still a lot up in the air. Obviously for me, because I'm on both teams. So it's just kind of waiting to hear what they decide for us. Yeah,
it'd be great to see you kind of called up and utilized for them 45 days and get some minutes would be fantastic. And we're pretty much done with the questions. Jonathan, have you got anything last minute you want to add in whilst you got a chance?
I'll probably kick myself after this is all done, but nothing at the moment. So no, thank you so much for coming on. Like, we're absolutely thrilled to have you, and once again, congratulations on an NBA championship in your rookie season. That's just incredible.
Thank you, man. I appreciate y'all having me again, and yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to, I mean, it'd be great to have you on sometime in the future again. And you know, if we're hopefully when all of this clears, we're definitely going to be back over in LA. So it'd be great to even catch you at a South Bay game if you're there at that time.
Yeah, for sure. Like, just hit me up, and we can figure something out.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. And just obviously Jonathan said it, but thank you so much for the time that you give to Lakers UK and speaking to us again. It means the world. And before you head off, do you want to kind of shout out your socials and let people know where they can find you?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Devontae_15, Twitter, Devontae__15. And yeah, you guys can find me on there.
Yeah, definitely. And Jonathan, do you want to quickly shout out yours before I do my bits?
Yep, it's Jonathan K NBA, JONATHANK NBA on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, and thanks both for coming on. But thank you, Devontae. Good luck for the off season, and very excited to see what happens in the future with your career. We're all behind you.
No problem. Thank you guys again for having me. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
thank you.
And to wrap it up, a huge thank you to our Patreon members, Amandeep Fardi, both Jonathan, Benjamin, Massimo, Cole, Adam, Phil, Steve, and Jamie. Your support is very much appreciated. If you're interested in supporting us whilst unlocking the full Lakers UK community, plus perks, visit www.patreon.com/LA Lakers UK. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to tell some of your Laker friends about it. You can find the Late Late Show on all major podcast platforms. Please follow, like, share where possible, and leave a review. Be sure to follow Lakers UK over on Twitter and Instagram under LA Lakers UK. Check out our website, lakersuk.com, and we'll catch you next time.